Hey, good people. Thanks for tuning back in. Today's topic is an introduction to the space program. If you've checked out my blog, I have a lot of posts on NASA and the space program up to that. And in this one, I want to do my first video blog on it. Before we do that, though, I want to watch a little bit of this documentary, which isn't necessarily about NASA. It's about the Freemasons and Washington, D.C. I'm going to link this video in my comments for you to watch. It's a great video to watch, very informative. But they're going to talk about some influential Masons in history, which connects with the space program. So let's check it out.
Now, I want you to call off the names and see if you can recognize these faces.
I just want to pause real quick. J. Edgar Hoover was the head of the FBI until he passed away, and the FBI was established on March 22nd. That's 322 Yale Skull and Bones, just to show the Skull and Bones Freemason connection. So I just paused it on this name, Robert Dillard. Both the names Robert and Dillard sum to 33 in gematria. And this guy is one of the first founders of a children's hospital. So just think about that. What do you think the Freemasons are really up to with the children's hospital? Do you think it really is all just good domestic service? Think about it.
I learned that almost all of our astronauts have been Freemasons.
All right, so if you just caught that, they just said that almost every astronaut in the history of the space program has been a Scottish Rite Freemason. Scottish Rite Freemasonry has a highest degree of 33, which is very significant all through the space program. Please recall this is just an introductory post, so I'm just really going to talk about the roots of the space program and the lead up to the moon landing. I'll be doing more video posts exposing more, but this post we're just going to stick to these topics. So we're going to switch over to the whiteboard here. See, get all that up there. All right. So on March 3rd, 3-3, a lot like highest degree of 33, NACA, N-A-C-A, the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, was established. And the numerology of that date, 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 1 plus 5, sums to 22. In numerology, 22 is the master number. 22 also sums to 4, the number of foundation in numerology. So the other thing to keep in mind is the president at this time was Woodrow Wilson. Woodrow Wilson, he was the first president to have a life number of 33. He was born December 28th, 1856. If you add that date up, 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 8 plus 1 plus 8 plus 5 plus 6, it sums to 33. On my blog, I've shown all the life numbers of all the presidents. I will link all these posts in the comments. So, the program was established 3/3/1915. On January 20th, they came up with a new mission for the program. It began as the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. On January 20th, it took on the mission to promote military and civilian aviation, emphasis on the military. And again, that was also President Woodrow Wilson who ordered that. Woodrow Wilson was also the first president to travel outside of the United States while president. He went to Europe to help establish the United Nations. The United Nations, by the way, guys, has a symbol with 33 parts in it. I have a blog post on that. I'll also link it. Anyhow, moving on through history, it was 38 8 years later that NASA, as we now know the space program, NASA was proposed, and that was proposed by a man named James Killian. The date of the proposal was March 5th, 1958. The numerology of that date is 31. 31 is the foundational degree of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. The degrees are 31, 32, 33. If you sum all those, it sums to 96. The word knowledge equals 96 in Gematria, as does the word Satanism. And Freemasons believe in something called the Supreme Being. Anyhow, moving on through history, Project Mercury was then proposed on October 7th, 1958. Project Mercury was the first manned space mission, and it came exactly 1 year to the day of Russia putting the first satellite on Earth. Exactly a year to the day. If you've seen my other posts, I've explained how Russia and the United States are the same country, controlled by the same Freemasons, and they're divided as two for the purposes of duality, which is what the Freemasons use to conquer and rule society. So, Project Mercury, a year to the day of the Russian satellite going into space, numerology of the date is 31. Seeing lots of connections here. Numerology. It should be noted that October, the 10th month, is the only month with a gematria of 33. And just think about that, October 31st. So you get the 33 and the 31 number in there, like the ranging days of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. What do we do to kids in this country on that day? We rot their teeth with sugar, right? Sugar. Okay, so NASA was finally established July 29th, 1958. 4 months, 24 days later. The numerology of this date is 41. 41 is interesting because USA, the acronym, sums to 41, as do words like king, as do words like lock and key. Both lock and key sum to 41. Barack Obama happens to sum to 41. Interesting stuff. All right. May 25th, 1961, so now we're about 3 years later into the space program, JFK, John F. Kennedy, declares that there will be a man on the moon and he will be returned safely to Earth. The year of that was 66. 66. It should be noted that the name Kennedy equals 33 in Gematria, and the word 33, when you spell it out, THIRTY, if you turn that into numbers and then sum it, as we do in Gematria, it sums to 66. So there's this relationship between 33 and 66. I talk about this in a lot of other posts. Think of the two space stations, Kennedy, which sums to 33, and Cape Canaveral, which, if you can believe it, sums to 66. This stuff's coded all through our nation, guys. It's not just the space program. It's because it's the Freemasons. These numbers show up in science, the Bible, geography, history. It's because the same people are creating our narrative. Okay. So, here's where the Freemason trademark really kicks in. The Apollo 1 mission is what came of JFK's speech, putting this man on the moon. The Apollo 1 mission was named on August 4th, 1966. It should be noted that 84 in Gematria, the phrase United States of America sums to 84. Currently, Barack Obama's birthday is August 4th. In Jewish Gematria, which is a different system you can look up on the internet because it's taught all over the place, the word Obama sums to 84. If you think of George Orwell's book, 1984, I'm quite certain it was talking about our nation, or actually just really the West. The New World Order is what I should say, or the Old World Order. So many ways to put it. Anyhow, this Apollo 1 mission, if you're not familiar with Apollo 1, guys, it was going to be the first manned mission to space. First manned mission to space with 3 men. I'm going to link it down, all the more details down below in the comments. But on January 27th, 1967, during the rehearsal before the actual thing, there was a terrible fire in the thing, and it killed all 3 of the astronauts. The numerology of that date, 1 plus 2 plus 7 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 7, for the date January 27th, 1967, sums to 33. That's not it.
they waited until April 24th, 1967 to do a memorial for the deceased astronauts in the tragedy. The numerology of that date also sums to 33, 4 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 7. The point is this is an introduction, just the very beginning. I'm going to do several more posts. I'm going to show you how they code these dates, these names, nonstop, every mission. And please go back to the video where it just said that almost every astronaut has been a Scottish Rite Freemason. From the Mars rover to the telescopes, they're all coded with the same gematria. The word rover equals 33. It makes me wonder if the Mars rover is maybe set up in somebody like Stanley Kubrick's basement, recording a scene like we're shown in a movie, and they're just hoaxing us on TV. My theory with these programs is that they take a lot of the money that we think is dedicated to the things we're told about on TV, and they essentially just steal that money while giving us a PR campaign on TV to think that money's really being spent where we're told it's spent. From the moon landing to the space stations to you name it, something is up. At the same time, I do think they're doing real research, but that real research I don't think we get to know much about. So a lot more posts coming. I'll talk about the name Neil Armstrong. The name Neil is 22. The name Armstrong is 44. Sums to 66, the number I just spoke about. It's true for all of them, you guys. They have the life numbers. They got the names. Gemini 8, the mission just before the moon landing. The date of it is 33, of course. There's just so much from the Challenger explosion where the teacher was made the center of the story. Because she died, she would have been the first teacher in space, but she sadly died. My mom grew up telling me that story so often. That story really touched her and really hurt her, and I'm sure it hurt a lot of other people. And that's why they do this to us, you guys. It's a psychological impact. They're stealing our money. They're achieving a lot of their agenda at once. And the reason we, the people, can't comprehend it is because we are not sick, disgusting people like they are. These people are ruthless, you guys. And if you doubt what I'm saying, please watch my other posts. This gematria stuff is a major giveaway. It shows you what they've always been thinking. So please tune in, please subscribe, please watch my other posts, lots more coming.